Start record. We started recording.
We're recording. Oh my goodness. Welcome to our live video chat. I'm Kevin Delaney, and I am honored tonight to be talking with the one, the only... Richard Horvitz, yes.
Hello, world!
Star of many animated series, tons and tons and tons of voiceover work, of course, in addition, lots of on-camera roles, including the green grapes in the Fruit of the Loom commercials. Yeah, not too shabby there. And lots of other stuff. And we're going to get into a lot of the great stuff that Richard has done over the years, and we know that we have a lot of people right now who want to ask questions. So we'll get into it in just a second here. But Richard, how are you?
I'm good, Kevin. Thank you for having me.
Good. Well, we are honored to have you. We're so happy we were finally able to do this. Richard and I, we work together in a sketch comedy group here in LA. And I know Richard is very busy. We've talked about doing this for a long time. And here we are at long last. Finally!
I'm like those little kids you see that are on like Good Morning America when they see themselves on the camera and they keep going back and forth.
Well, we can take that off. I just wanted to make sure that we're in frame.
I like to see me.
You like to see yourself?
Yeah.
Is that why you have mirrors up all over the office here?
Amongst other reasons.
We're in Richard's office here, and it's like a memorabilia center.
Yes.
It's really great.
It's all but memories now.
Yes, well... We'll make some memories tonight.
Yes.
How's that?
Yes.
Good. So, Richard, some of your more prominent animation credits. Of course, everybody knows Invader Zim. We don't need to mention that. Here's the puppet.
I am Zim! Someone call me! Grr!
As soon as you say, I won't say it, but as soon as you say those words, the puppet comes out and...
Curse you, Kevin Delaney! Curse you! Curse you! All right, enough with the puppet.
All right. So in addition to that very, very prominent role that Richard has played, he's also done roles on shows like Kim Possible, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Ben 10,
That's wild.
Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Rugrats.
I don't know, there's a lot of those.
A lot of them. Okay. Kick Buttowski, Suburban Daredevil.
Yeah, I'm Mouth. Hey, Kick.
And Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
You dug that one up.
I dug it up.
Interestingly enough, I played a couple of characters in that show. I played in the movie Sabrina Goes to Rome. I played Stonehenge, the little guinea pig. What was a Cockney guinea pig?
Huh.
And you know who I belong to? Tara Strong.
Oh wow, another very prominent voiceover artist.
Yes, she was actually on camera in that, and I was her guinea pig, Stonehenge. And then in the series, I played the talking chair. The talking chair, yeah. And interestingly enough, Salem the cat was voiced by my friend Nick Mackay, who was not only a producer and a writer on the show, but was also Norbert on the Angry Beavers.
Wow, all these great connections.
Dang it! That's what he said.
So you played a chair. That's one of the great things about voiceover is you get to play furniture sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I was evil furniture. I seem to be evil.
Yes. Good. So those of you who are watching us live, if you have questions for Richard, which I suspect maybe one or two of you out there might, if you would be so kind as to preface your question with 2 question marks. So type question mark, and then your question. That way we can see very easily and quickly, who's asking a question. And
I have a question.
Yeah. So great. Well, let's get into it. Now, what I want to talk about throughout our chat this evening is your 5 steps.
Yes.
Because you are a very prominent and very highly respected voiceover teacher and coach
thank you.
here in Los Angeles, so I've heard.
Rumor has it.
Rumor has it that you are highly, highly sought after and respected. And you've taught many classes and workshops, and you have 5 steps for people who are interested in voice acting. And I do not know what these steps are, so these are going to be
interesting.
These are going to be this is going to be a learning experience for me. Let's start off with your first step. What is the first step for voiceover artists?
Very simply put, I am. I am. Meaning, I am the person in the story. It is happening to me right now. A lot of people you hear talk about their work. They'll go, well, when he was in this situation, and I'll always say, who? What's happening to you at this time? Sure, you're playing, the wizard or the witch or the alien or the mom or the dad, but it's you playing that. And so in accepting that I am the person in the story, I am the woodland creature, I am Zim, I am Daggett, I am Billy, it's happening to me right now, as opposed to creating something outside of the story. And that's what I refer to, what we call copy. I call it story, because I always start out by going, what story am I in? It's the same for commercial as it is for animation or any other kind of work you do. You can do it on TV, it can be on film, it can be on stage. It's how I approach all my work. And the first thing is like, who am I in the story? And a lot of times it'll say on the copy, which I say here, but normally I call it story, it'll say announcer. And the first thing I always ask someone is, well, what's the announcer's name? And they'll go, it doesn't say. Right. It doesn't say. So well, the announcer's name is Kevin, because you are the person.
I thought it was A-N-N-C-R.
Yeah, my name is A-N-N-C-R.
Which I still don't know how to pronounce. I've never figured that out.
Exactly. The other thing is that with the I am, it's happening to me. We have a thing that's called subjectivity that we do. Oftentimes it'll say doctor. All it'll say is doctor. And suddenly someone is playing the doctor and they'll suddenly start talking like this. Well, we've gone over your tests and it doesn't look good. We want to run some more tests to make sure everything's fine. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be fine. And we always take on this gravitas when we play these things. And I always say to somebody, why are you doing that? Why are you playing your idea of a doctor? Because the fact of the matter is that if you had not gone into voiceover, couldn't you have gone to school and become a doctor? And, maybe you become an ophthalmologist or maybe an internist. You go to college, you graduate, you get your degree, your license, you take your Hippocratic Oath, and then as soon as you open your practice, do you suddenly start talking like this? You don't, right? So why do it in this make-believe world? That's the basis of my 5 steps, is it's all make-believe. It's all about playing pretend. It's going back to approach our work like we did when we were children, with the innocence of a child. So, for example, when you were a kid, I'll do it with you. You play any make-believe games when you were a kid?
Sure.
Like, give me a kid. Was it cowboys? Was it bank robbers? Was it police? What did you play, make-believe? $6 Million Man?
My friends and I, we used to play Star Wars.
Star Wars. Okay, who would you be?
Maybe... Well, I used to like to be Han Solo.
Okay, Han Solo.
Yeah.
Give me an example of something you would say as Han Solo.
Look out.
Look out. Okay? And everyone would go, what? And pull out their lightsabers, right? And you would play, and you'd go, you'll never get me! I'll take you down, you stormtroopers, look out! And you fire, right? And then you would play, and you'd play, and you'd play, and then your mom or your dad would say, okay, it's time for your friends to go home, it's time for dinner. At the end of that play pretend time, did you ever say to your friends, let me ask you something. When I said, look out, get down, did you believe me? Or should I have gone, look out, get down, look out, look out, look out, look out? Right? Yeah. We didn't do that, and we played. And our friends believed that you were Han Solo and you were really in a space battle, and you played and you played and you played. And nobody questioned it. You particularly didn't question it. Yeah, I was Han Solo. But then suddenly we get older and things take over, like we have to earn a living. We are judged by our parents. What are you doing with your life? We're judged by our peers. We want to be liked. We want to be accepted. Suddenly all those things become more important than the actual playing pretend, which is all we're really doing is playing pretend. So that's the first step, is the I am. I am the person in the story.
Would you agree with the statement, it's more about finding the character in you rather than leaping outside of yourself and finding something out there?
Yes, it is about how you would instinctually respond to something that is being said to you or that you are saying. It's one of my favorite tricks in voiceover or in anything, because I teach acting as well, is that if I say to someone, why are you saying that? They'll go, well, because it's written for me.
Right.
But why are you saying it?
Right.
What's prompting you to speak? So just because it says in the stage direction, he grieves, we don't all grieve the same. You know, some of us may cry, but 99% of us are going to go, who's crying? Sorry, couldn't help. 99% of us are going to...
I'm going to take that away from
Yeah,
you,
see?
Richard.
Play pretend. And so he grieves, but really, you, Kevin, might grieve differently.
Right.
Now, you may grieve some other way. Like for me, when I'm grieving, I usually go to denial's my first step, and so I go to, well, please. I laugh. Mm-hmm. I laugh. Come on, that's not true. Please, because that's my natural response to things is to use humor, even in horrible situations. And so that's my first instinct. So why would I deny that and act? I'll give you a perfect example. You say about finding like the character outside yourself or inside yourself, because I don't use method or any of that stuff. That being said, everyone uses a different way to get somewhere, and however you get there, I'm all for it. This I find easier for me because the way I work is from a place of like freeing myself of obligation to please others. Most of the time we think as actors, voiceover actors, stage, TV, doesn't matter, that our job is to get the job. What is our job? Well, to get the job. And so our want becomes pleasing the producers, so they'll hire us so we can validate our choice to be an artist. I decided about 20 years ago with a mentor of mine, a teacher that I had, Diana Castle, that my job is to play pretend and play pretend fully. Mm-hmm. That's my job. Mm-hmm. But we spend 98% of our time doing the business of doing business, trying just to get the opportunities to do what we say we do. Then when we finally get those opportunities, we go, oh my God, now I have to, put my money where my mouth is. I have to act.
Right.
I try to enter secondary realities every day, play pretend every day. Mm-hmm. So what I was going to say about like the piece of story you get, it'll be about a new race game. Let's say it's a commercial copy. And it's about, now you can try the greatest thing. Look out up ahead. We all of a sudden manufacture this excitement. Mm-hmm. And I'll always say to somebody, are you really feeling that excited about this? I mean, be honest. Mm-hmm. In your primary reality, are you really feeling that excited about this race car game? No, I could care less. Mm-hmm. I said, exactly. So why are you manufacturing this excitement? Yeah. Well, because that's what the client wants. I'm being hired by the agency to really act like I'm excited about it. But as my mentor Diana used to say, is you cannot act excited. You can just be excited. So our job, to answer your question about finding it within yourself, is to say, what about this story does excite me that I can latch onto and have fun? Mm-hmm. It was kind of a convoluted answer. Sorry, everybody. Are you writing this all down?
Yes, people are taking furious notes right now. It's interesting. I have had the experience, I'm sure you have too. You talk about going back to childhood, basically, and that sense of fun, and that sense of play. You've probably had the experience of teaching maybe a kids class, actually teaching kids.
Teenagers are great to teach, especially like 12, 13, 10, 12, 13, because they're still in that place where they want to be more mature, but they still have that sense of play.
Right,
yeah.
Right, yeah. And they have a little bit of life experience at that point, so
exactly.
They can draw on a little bit more. Yeah. But what's interesting is sometimes you might do a class maybe with really young people, and then maybe even the same day you've got a class with older people. And now you're seeing the same people now 20 years later, and you notice oftentimes the self-consciousness that older people have. What happens to people between that age of 10 and 12, and then in their 40s and 50s, all of a sudden everything is like you said?
I can answer that question. It's actually something I deal with in my classes, is that, and that's exactly what I say, is what happened to that kid that was playing pretend that suddenly lost it? Because 99% of the people that come to us are trying to get back to that place where we could play pretend without judgment. And the reason is this. At some point in our lives, probably very young, we got caught playing pretend. Mm-hmm. And it's usually something like this. Kevin, show your aunt or show your friends over there that thing you do where you go your hand solo. Do that thing where you go, get down. And we go one of two ways. We either go, yeah, I'm going to get you, which is what I did, which means I was on. Uh-huh. We either go on and become extroverted, or we go the other way and go, get down, I'm going to get you, and they become really introverted, right? Now, those two ways, either on or introverted, just become more magnified as we get older because of the following things: adolescence, puberty, peer pressure, friends judging us. Then as we get older, validating our choice to be artists, to make a living. We've spent all this money on classes and demos and trying to get an agent and everything. Now I have nothing to show for it, and I'm not working, and I'm waiting a table.
Yeah.
So that's what happens to that sense of playing pretend. And I can honestly say that with the exception of a few years, well, I'll take that back. I played pretend my entire life. I love to play pretend. I'm goofy. I have puppets. We do sketch comedy. That's what I continue to do. And so what I did, except when I found my mentor, Diana, is that I basically had to get back to that place of playing. That I am, basically the I am enough because I am a human being. Mm-hmm. That's really what I stress in people. Some people call a lot of my work like voiceover psychology, like counseling. Is that I am enough because I am a human being. Mm-hmm. I honestly believe in any realm of artistry that we do, it doesn't matter if you're an accountant or you're an actor or you're a carpenter or a painter or a gardener, we're all artists. I really believe that. We all have artistry in us. We do something in a way that we have to express that way. That we, no matter what... So I lost my train of thought. I'm going to cry.
Artistry. We're
Artistry.
all artists.
We're all artists. And I honestly believe that in what we do, there is no wrong or right. Mm-hmm. There is not good or bad. There is a healthy and unhealthy way of the way we approach our work. Mm-hmm. The unhealthy way that we approach our work, especially in this realm, let's say in voiceover world, is that we read the breakdown, the character description. And what we try to do is we try to be everything that the character description says. Mm-hmm. And we totally ignore our story.
Right.
Because our want becomes getting the job. Right. But here's a perfect example. You've seen these breakdowns in your copy before. It says, he is often angry but lovable to a fault. Stingy but generous. Angry to a point of laughing. Happy, sad. All these things which are basically just human emotions for a person. And they plump it all down there on this character description, and then they give you a paragraph.
All right.
Right? One paragraph. Uh-huh. Okay? Now, 99.9% of those people are going to go in there based on wanting to do everything that's in the character description, and their take is going to be like, and try this like really ridiculous animated energy thing that's trying to do all the things that's been described in this breakdown. But as I always point out to my students as I'm calming them down and bring them in off the ledge because they're like, I don't know how to do this. I say to them, and you answer these questions. You be my example. Okay. Have you laughed in your life?
Yes.
Have you cried in your life?
Yes.
Have you been jealous in your life?
Yes.
Have you been loving in your life?
Yes.
Have you been stingy in your life?
Yes.
Have you been angry? I said angry. I'll give you all these things, right? They're all just human emotions. Yes, right?
Right.
Are you showing all of those to me at this very moment?
Am I?
No. The answer is no. You're
just
not.
my stinginess.
Yes, the stinginess, right? No, you're not, right? You're not crying right now. You're not angry. You're not jealous right now. Any of that stuff.
But I have it in. I have the ability.
Yes,
I can go there.
Yes,
depending on the.
But it's not apropos to what we're doing at this very moment, right? So just because they give us the paragraph,
right?
I don't have to show all those other things. I only have to deal with what's happening right there in that paragraph.
Right.
Then later on, if they give me something else that applies to that other aspect of their character breakdown, maybe that will come out. Mm-hmm. That is how we are. And as my mentor used to say, you want to stop thinking as an actor and start remembering you're a human and thinking from a human place.
Right. But what if you're playing a piece of furniture?
That's a great question. If it's a talking piece of furniture, okay. What kind of furniture am I? Am I a fluffy piece of furniture? Am I comfortable?
This is voiceover psychology.
Do you want to cuddle up in my chair? Like, ooh, that's a cute chair.
Oh, Richard, let's not answer that.